You're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast, the #1 rated robot-related podcast in northeastern Ontario.
Hey there, folks. It's episode 188 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, February 18th, 2018.
Hello, fellow time travelers. I'm Tony Witt with the Doctor Who Target Book Club podcast, the podcast in which we undertake the insert adjective here task of discussing in story order all of the Doctor Who novelizations. I'm joined by
Dalton Hughes
and by
Alison Fitz-Seyfried.
and we record our episodes twice a month. You're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Enjoy your travels.
I'm your host, Sean,
I'm Josh.
I'm Shane.
and together we are the Rusted Robot Podcast crew. How are you guys? I don't know what that means. Okay, and you?
I'm good.
Glad to hear it. Good. Better than this guy over here, right?
Yeah. I'm not a squeaky door.
No, true enough. Yeah. So, big news from last week's episode 187.
Okay.
Okay, you remember how Katie hates the song X Gonna Get You or whatever it was you told me about?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I decided for the end song that I would play that as the end song. YouTube came along and sent me an email and said, your video has been flagged for inappropriate content. We're flagging your account for 3 months and you're not going to be able to upload any videos. I'm like, oh, well, that's fantastic.
Oh,
Is that your first strike?
That's my first strike. However, they do have an appeals process, and so I wrote them back and I said, hey, this is a not-for-profit podcast, and we were talking about a song, so I played it so our listening audience could have a reference. And they unflagged my account, they re-uploaded the video for me, it's on YouTube. I just have to be super delicate and careful about what kind of end songs that I play from now on, if I play any.
yeah. Yeah, no, copyright is bad.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that, well, because normally I do parody songs, and this was a legitimate song, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'll try to see what happens, and I guess I found out, so.
Keep your snippets short and...
But I needed to play the whole thing for the end
That's
song, because it's
thing,
the
though.
end song.
If you play too much of it, that's when you get flagged.
Well, that's right. And I often get emails afterwards saying, hey, this is on somebody else's channel, there's nothing wrong, there's no strikes, you're okay. But this time I got a strike, so. If any of our listening audience has a bunch of parody songs that I can use, that they would like to send, they could go ahead and email us, therustedrobot@gmail.com. That was my excitement for last week. I was like, oh crap, nobody is going to be able to watch our videos, listen to our show on YouTube. But they can, so it's okay. And if they want to find our YouTube channel, just look up the name Sean Vanderloo. I only have a few subscribers. Once I have over 100, we can change it to the name of the podcast. So subscribe and tell your friends. That's all I got for that.
All right.
All right.
What do you guys have to bring to the table?
I did a thing.
A thing?
I watched some Star Trek.
No way.
I did.
Did you watch Star Trek Discovery?
I did not.
Did you watch Star Trek Enterprise?
I did not.
Did you watch Star Trek the Animated Series?
I did not.
Star Trek Voyager?
No.
Next Generation?
No.
Deep Space Nine?
No.
Original Series?
No. Yes.
Ah.
Sorry, I was getting so used to saying no.
I was like, there's nothing else.
Some movies, maybe.
No, I watched an episode before I came over here, actually.
I'm proud of you, son.
Okay, which one did you watch? You're still in the original series. You're on episode 4 or 5?
5, I think.
Okay.
What happened?
They went to a planet, and the planet was about to implode,
Uh-oh.
and there were dead people.
Was the planet called Psi 2000?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
And they all get infected with a disease of some sort.
Ooh, like a water molecule virus?
Yes.
That can only be cured by alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, is that called The Naked Time?
Yes.
Ah, and what did you think of such an episode?
It was good. I
Yeah?
liked it.
Yeah?
It wasn't bad.
That's the only thoughts you have?
No, I mean, I wish there would have been some aliens and some action in this one, but
Well,
it was very just psychological.
it was very
It
psychological.
was still very good, though.
Yeah, and does it make you want to keep watching the series?
It does.
Well, we've got news for you, buddy. If you liked The Naked Time, episode 2 of The Next Generation has The Naked Now, where they do a kind of sequel to this episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite horrible.
Is it?
Yes, they should have maybe had it in season 3 or 4,
Yeah,
when we
'cause
got
it-
to know the characters.
At this point, you don't know the characters at all.
Well, I mean, even now, it's only like 4 or 5 episodes into the original series. You don't know them that well.
You know them better than you do in the other one.
I mean, at one point, Sulu's running around with a sword, and he's like, and Spock is like, yes. No, it harkens back to the fact that at his core, he is a swashbuckler from the 17th century. And it's like, he is? I didn't have any idea about that. Also, he's swinging around a rapier as if it's like an actual sword, and that is not how you...
Yeah, that's probably all the props they could find at the filming.
Maybe.
I would guess. So, out of 10, how would you rate that episode? Now, you have to, of course, take into account that it was made in the 60s, the cheese factor.
Of course.
You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, I like that kind of stuff, but I give it a 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
It was better than average, but it wasn't amazing.
Okay, I can go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, at least you're watching some Star Trek.
So that's episode 4, the Naked Time. So up next is The Enemy Within.
Ooh, that's a good
That
one.
doesn't sound bad.
That is a classic.
Yeah.
What's better than 1 William Shatner? 2 William Shatners.
Captain Kirk! I'm Captain Kirk! I'm Captain Kirk.
No.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't know how many times there were 2 William Shatners or 2 Kirks on screen. Must have been
So
like
we
7
got-
or 8 different episodes.
We got the split. We got the alternate dimension.
We have Star Trek 6, the movie. We have the one on the prison planet or the insane asylum planet where the other guy could pretend to be him. There was a good 5 or 6 double Kirk episodes.
So
I'm okay with that. More Shatner is good with me.
So you're 4 episodes in. So you've seen The Man Trap, Charlie X, Where No Man Has Gone Before, and The Naked Time.
Yes.
Where would you rate The Naked Time out of your top 4? Because you've only seen 4.
Probably
The best of the bunch?
it's probably my second favorite of the bunch.
Which one did you like better?
The one previous to that.
Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yeah. Oh, that one was pretty good.
With the ESP and the...
Yeah.
Okay, that was the
Nice.
second pilot.
Yeah, and they thought they were gods and stuff.
So, what is it? The Enemy Within is next, and then after that, here's an episode you're not going to like.
What is it?
Mud's Women.
Yeah,
Wait, I've heard of Muds before. You guys have talked about Mud.
we have talked about Mud.
Harry Fenton Mud.
Harcourt, Fenton, Mud, yeah.
Harcourt? Harcourt, Fenton, Mud, what have you been up to? Nothing good, I'm sure. Well, let me tell you, you lazy, good-for-nothing...
Shut up!
Thing.
Why won't I like the episode?
You might like it.
Some people like Mud, some people don't.
He's a scoundrel. He's a rapscallion. He's a rogue. He's very comic for 1960s television. Rainn Wilson played him in Discovery as a much more ruthless character.
I've heard that, yeah.
So, and speaking of Star Trek Discovery,
Blank alert. Blank alert.
the last
I can
two.
go to the bathroom now?
Yeah. So last week was the finale
Oh, thank goodness.
until season 2 comes back maybe in 2019. We're not sure. I have to say the series overall was fantastic. It was quite excellent. The last 2 episodes kind of disappointing. Yeah, don't laugh. Episode 14 was just kind of okay. We gotta set up for the final episode, and then the final episode, it was interesting, but they wrapped up the war way too fast. All the characters were just okay. This is where we are. We're wrapped up. But at the end of the episode, we did get to see a Constitution class starship. Have you seen any images online or anything about it? No.
No.
Okay. Well, they updated it for the aesthetics of the Discovery show. Same shaping, a little bit of highlights, and different. It's different, but it looked fantastic. It looked like a badass warship.
So, they didn't keep continuity like they said they were going to.
Yeah. See, I was like, they should have made it just look like how they did the remastered versions of TOS, or how they had it in Deep Space Nine, or whatever, even Enterprise. But they didn't. They updated it with the Aztecing on the hull, and very, very Discovery-like.
And I'm guessing, did they show the inside at all?
They didn't show the inside. They just the 2 ships came together because the Constitution had to talk to the Discovery, and then that's where they ended it. So, big cliffhanger for season 2.
So, that's disappointing. Because the one thing they said is, no, it takes place in the exact same universe. Kirk's out there somewhere. No. We all thought, well, why are their uniforms different? Why are their ship control systems different? Why does everything have a different aesthetic inside? Everybody's like, no, they're in a period of change from the old uniforms to the new uniforms. So they're testing out different things. I'm like, that's not how uniforms work, but okay. But ship aesthetics, okay, I'll give you that. But you're saying, no, ship aesthetics, this is the new aesthetics. And the original series, that's now not real anymore.
Well,
that's a stage play interpretation.
No, well, you know what? I think the way they're going for it is because if it looked like the TV show 1960s version of the ship next to the Discovery, it would just look too jarring. So they had to update it. It's the same shape. Everything's identical. It's just it's not white like it was in the original show.
Why not? Do you know what most spaceships are in color?
White.
White.
Yeah.
Just matte white.
Uh-huh.
Because it reflects sunlight and prevents a lot of radiation from slipping into your ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's that way for a reason. Dark ships are actually a stupid idea in space.
Well, this is the way it is. They kept the little deflector radar dish on the front of the ship, so they didn't make it look like Next Generation with the blue and the red or anything like that. So it's all very identical. It's just updated. Most fan reaction is, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but most fans who have stuck it out to this point, they're looking for an excuse for it to be okay.
No, not true. Not true. Overall, I would give it 8 out of 10 for the series.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, but you've only seen 5 episodes. That's 1/3.
That's 1/3 of the season.
Yeah.
Which means it should have at least a 33%.
You would think so.
But it doesn't.
Well, anyway, I liked it. They could have done some things differently. Could have been like a 20-episode series, and they could have fixed the Klingon War a lot better. But it's done, and now we're going to see what happens sometime later, I guess. Definitely worth a watch, anyway. And since we're on the topic of Star Trek, did you ever watch the series In Search Of?
Yes.
With Leonard Nimoy?
Yes.
Earthquakes are nature's most frightening events. For when the Earth is at war with itself, there is no place to hide.
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones to the mysteries we will examine.
Okay, I used to watch that in the 90s before high school. And that's how I learned about the Nazca lines and ancient aliens and Neanderthals and the Curse of Oak Island and all that kind of stuff. Well, they're rebooting it on the History Channel. And you know who the host is going to be?
William Shatner?
No.
No.
No, it's got to be one of the Spocks. Which one of the Spocks is it going to be?
It's new Spock, Zachary Quinto. A 10-episode run on the History Channel coming up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to talk about it last week, but I forgot because I didn't write it down. So
we had a lot of stuff written down last week.
We did have a lot of stuff. It was Trailer Central last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to really like In Search Of. Aired, I guess, in the 70s and 80s.
Well, there's In Search Of. What was the other one? Something Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries?
No, not Unsolved Mysteries. So it's another one, Something Mysteries.
Probably Ancient Mysteries or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those shows at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of just watching that same footage of Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot, the Bermuda Triangle, all that woo-woo stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I learned quite a bit about that stuff and things that I didn't know, and it was like, wow, that's really cool, and I was really into it. And then I kind of gave up on my mystical stuff.
Bigfoot is out there.
Bigfoot is out there.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm excited to see what Zachary Quinto has to say about that, actually. So I don't know when it's coming out, but it's going to be on the History Channel whenever it does come.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about him following in Leonard Nimoy's footsteps? You think that's a good career move or bad career move?
Good idea, bad idea.
I like Zachary Quinto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've only seen so much of the original series of Star Trek.
Right.
But I think out of all of the characters in the newer movies,
Yeah.
I think he's probably... I think he does a fair rendition of Spock.
No, he doesn't.
No, and
No?
The voice is so not there. It's very disappointing. Everybody says that Carl Urban's McCoy is the best impression or version.
I mean, Carl Urban's a great actor. I'm
He
not surprised.
He is a great actor.
Spock is one of the characters that Nimoy built that character.
Oh, I fully believe that, yeah.
And, like, it's going to be hard to fill it. To do McCoy, you got to bring on the Southern charm. You got to work that out. That's something that some people are used to. Kirk, you just got to do a bad Shatner impression.
Yeah.
I think Pine kind of brought something unique to the role.
Well, I don't particularly like the new movies. So
Yeah.
that's coloring my interpretation here.
Right, of course.
But
I feel like Chris Pine is just playing Chris Pine, though. I don't feel like he's trying to be Shatner.
No, you're right. Chris Pine is Chris Pine in every movie that
Yeah.
he's in.
like to be a good Kirk, you basically have, because like by season 2, Shatner was just doing a Shatner impression of Star Trek: The Original Series. Season 1, he's being Kirk. Season 2, he's Shatner doing a Shatner impression, and from then on, that's what we get for Captain Kirk. It's, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it a lot, particularly The Voyage Home, where he's the most Kirkian of his Kirkianness.
Double dumbass on you.
Yeah.
Double dumbass on you!
You've never seen the one with the whales?
No.
You gotta watch the one with the whale. Well, you have to get through the original series.
The animated series.
The animated series, the first 2 movies, go back, watch the first season of Next Gen, and then number 3 and 4. Is that not the chronological?
Why are you watching Next Gen?
When does number 4 come out? Isn't that 88?
86.
86?
86.
I thought it was 88.
No. Nothing came out in 88. Season 2 of Next Generation came out in 88.
That's why I thought it was
because
season 1.
No, the motion picture came out in 79.
Yeah.
Rathcon 82.
Yeah.
Search for Spock 84. Voyage Home 86. In 89 we had The Final Frontier. And in 91 we had Undiscovered Country.
This is where you guys lose me.
I lose you.
I'm lost.
There are 6 movies in the original set, and he just named off the dates for the 6 movies.
Yeah.
The years of release when they came out.
Okay.
Yes, and then in 94 we had Star Trek Generations, where we saw Kirk and Picard together on screen. In 96 we had the best Star Trek movie ever, First Contact. In 98 we had Insurrection. And then in 2002 we had Nemesis. And then we had no more movies until 2009 when Star Trek with the JJ verse came out.
Yeah.
So by far the worst movie is the motion picture. By far. Including the JJs.
See, that's...
The JJs, you can at least ignore the Star Trek, and it's a good action sci-fi.
Right, right.
If you say, this has nothing to do with it, just ignore all that stuff and rename the characters in your head, it's a great action sci-fi.
Right.
The original Star Trek motion picture tried to be too much like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it wasn't as deep, so it was long and protracted, but boring.
And it had a lot of issues because it was leftover material from Star Trek Phase 2, the unproduced series.
Yeah.
But Star Trek 5, you think 5 is better than 1?
5 is better than 1. I've watched 5 more than I've watched 1.
See, 1 had a lot of good ideas.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It had good concepts. I wouldn't say it had good ideas.
A concept is an idea.
No, it's not. A concept is a vagueness. An idea is like, let's try this.
Well, I have one question for you, my friend.
What does God need with a starship?
V'ger, man. V'ger.
He just wanted to become one with the creator.
Yeah. No, this...
See, the Star Trek movies are very divisive, and no two people have the same
You'll also note that 1, 3, and 5 are the worst movies.
True.
Without argument, the odd number movies are the worst movies in the original set.
Yeah.
After that, it kind of blurs away.
Well, Generations.
Nah. First Contact's great.
Oh yeah, Nemesis. I like Nemesis, even though it's considered the worst of the Next Generation movies from everything that I've listened to on other podcasts. It's like an extended episode. I like it.
No, 1 is by far the worst, and then we get into the JJs, and then we're back to 5, and then 3. Then it gets tricky because now we're in the good ones.
You have to watch them for yourself, so that you make your own opinion. Don't let us influence your viewing pleasure.
I won't.
Okay, good boy. Hey, so have you guys seen Altered Carbon on Netflix?
Nope.
Not yet.
Oh,
I've been too busy watching Star Trek.
7 episodes in.
You've watched 1 episode.
Yeah, so busy. Yeah.
That's 44 minutes. What did you do with the rest of the week?
Stuff.
Video games.
Basically.
Naruto.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Altered Carbon, 7 of the 10 episodes we've watched. It's all right. It's okay. It's not really sucking me in like the Marvel Netflix shows, but it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Do I recommend it? Sure. Why not?
Okay, I know you don't have a super positive opinion of Blade Runner, but would you put it above or below Blade Runner?
I would put it above Blade Runner because I'm still watching this.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I don't really care for Blade Runner, and I wish I did, but I just don't care.
What puts it above Blade Runner?
The production quality, the action is more intense. There's intriguing mystery and intrigue, and I'll just keep saying intrigue.
Okay.
Because it's a good word.
It is. You don't want to explain intrigue, because then there is no intrigue.
That's right. Exactly. That's true. And it's very futuristic, and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on, and there's pretty girls. There's lots of nudity. I saw an episode where a guy was walking, and it was full frontal nudity, and his little thing there was just swinging away, and I'm like, I don't need to see this. Show me some more boobs. But yeah, so it's violent. It's full of nudity. There's strong language, lots of action.
So a show for kids.
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
recommend it to all viewers under 5. No. Yeah. Yeah. So, no. I'm kidding. Folks, don't let your kids watch Altered Carbon. It will ruin them for life. You probably should only watch it once you're past your 20s. So,
All right, so
that's pretty much all I've been watching on Netflix except for comedians in cars getting coffee.
That show is so good.
It's addictive, right?
I love it.
And they're not long episodes.
No, they're not.
Have you seen it? It's Jerry Seinfeld just picking up a different comedian
I've
in
seen
a different car.
one, and that was the Obama one.
I think
No, that's
David Letterman.
Yeah,
You're thinking.
that's a different show.
This is Jerry Seinfeld.
No, this is Jerry Seinfeld.
Why would Jerry Seinfeld pick up Obama? Obama's not a comedian.
Yeah, they couldn't leave the White House grounds.
That doesn't sound right.
I'm telling you.
Okay, maybe.
That doesn't sound right at all.
No, the episode I just watched today was Christoph Waltz. He's not really a comedian, but
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's like episode 12, and there's like 59 episodes.
Yeah.
I just watch it when I have like 20 minutes because they're short.
Exactly.
And it's fun.
I'm not that many episodes in.
Comedians in cars getting coffee. Just tell him you're the president.
What episode number does it say? Because I watched the David Letterman talk show on
I haven't watched that
Netflix
one
with Obama, and that was really good. Obama's a good man. He's smart.
He is.
Yeah, very eloquent. We should
Well,
have
he
him
was
on.
a lawyer or something before he was president, wasn't he?
I'm not going to confirm or deny because I don't know.
Something like that.
We should have him on the podcast.
We should. We should see if we can get Obama.
That would be awesome. Have you ever listened to WTF with Mark Maron?
I have not.
He came, the president came to Mark Maron's house. They had to shut down the street for like 3 days. Big tents over his house because Mark Maron does his podcast out of his garage.
Yeah.
And so the president came to the garage and just chatted with him.
Season 7, episode 1.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know there were seasons. I thought it was just a bunch of episodes.
Well, it's probably just so many episodes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's chop it up.
The cast is Jerry Seinfeld, himself, host, and Barack Obama playing Barack Obama.
Nice. Okay. Well,
That's kinda cool,
that's a few down the road for me.
Yeah.
I've stalled out on Black Mirror because I've been watching Altered Carbon, but Black Mirror is fantastic as well.
I still haven't watched that either.
Oh, that's good. Other than that, what else have I been watching on Netflix? Not a lot. So, you? Anything interesting? TV-wise?
I've been watching a lot of anime. So,
there you go.
I've been watching Black Clover. Watched all of that. That's out in English so far. I've watched...
Ooh! Speaking of out in English, remember we talked about Batman Ninja?
Yes.
April 3rd. We're getting the English translation and it's coming to DVD.
Excellent.
Yeah. Remember talking about that?
Yep.
It was all, we didn't play the trailer because it was all Japanese?
Yep.
Well, we're going to get an English version.
We're going to have to play the English trailer for it.
We will have to.
So, that's cool. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of different animes.
Okay. Where's the wife?
Well, wife is at work.
Oh, is she watching anime at work?
Probably not. She's got to sort those comics and put them away.
Oh, right, because she works at a comic book store.
Yeah, Jump City Comics.
Shameless plug alert.
Yeah.
All right.
38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario, Canada, Earth. Located in Unit 106 in the basement. Just come down the glass elevator, turn left.
Huh, okay. And if somebody didn't understand directions, Shane, where would we just say that Jump City Comics was?
Well, you get to the 101 Mall.
There you go, the 101 Mall.
You go downstairs.
Yeah.
And you look for the store full of comic books.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's where she is today. Huh.
Yep.
So we don't have any comic book news.
No.
Okay, well that's all right. Did you know that in 2 months, the Northern Ontario Expo starts?
Yes, I did.
Did you know that?
I did.
It's very exciting.
Yep. It's 21st.
And 22nd of April.
That's right.
That is true.
At the McIntyre Arena.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have the 1989 Batmobile. He's going to be here.
Yeah.
Not Michael Keaton.
No.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, but it's the Brampton Batman.
Yeah. We also have a couple celebrity guests.
We do. We have some guy named Paul Amos.
And Chris Holden Reed.
Chris Holden Reed from Lost Girl, and you are listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Enjoy.
This is true.
So that's cool. Chris Holden Reed's a returning guest.
He is a returning guest. We did have
he
him
loves
before.
our city.
What's not to love about Timmins? The land that culture forgot. It's awesome here.
Yeah. Don't deny it.
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. I'm having a booth where I'm selling my crap because I've got too much crap.
You hear that, people? Come buy his crap.
Come buy my crap. Not literal excrement. It's toys.
Need to set them up, man. Build a shelf all the way around your room.
Yeah.
Build shelves in the middle of your room. Put it all up. Display it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
You had a house, you could have turned that into a museum of your stuff.
I could have, and nobody would have came because nobody would have cared. So it's time for me to sell it. Not all of it. I'm going to keep some of it.
All right.
And then I'm going to go on a fancy trip. I'd like to go to Europe. I've never been to Europe. Have you been to Europe?
I have never been off the continent.
Me neither. You?
I have, actually.
You seem like a European traveler. You're very bohemian, so.
I lived in Belgium for 3 or 4 months.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
Did they sell comics and action figures in Belgium?
Yes, they did.
Yeah?
I was in, probably besides Jump City, the greatest comic book shop I have ever been in.
Right, I remember you telling us about this.
In my life, in Amsterdam.
Yes.
It was amazing.
It sounds amazing.
It was this tiny little store, floor-to-ceiling comic books. It was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention it was like 2 streets over from the red light district. It was just right there.
Everything you want in one spot.
Everything.
That's terrific.
You're good.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hey,
waste your money one way or another.
Exactly.
Yes.
Comic book keeps giving forever, though.
Well,
the red light district might as
too.
well.
Yeah. The Rusted Robot podcast does not recommend or endorse the red light district, although it does sound like a lot of fun.
I will say this over there, because that whole thing is a legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
They do regular mandatory testing and everything like that, so it is actually very clean.
Yes.
Just putting that up there.
It's cleaner.
Yes.
But workplace accidents occur.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
That was good.
If you are loving this podcast, you should tell a friend about it.
Spread the word about podcasts you think they would enjoy. There's something for everyone, from entertainment and lifestyle
to news and politics
and more. Share it on social media. Believe it or not, some people don't know how great podcasts are,
or even how to find and listen to them.
You can help change that with a click. Tell your friends about your favorite podcast.
Thanks for spreading the word.
Oh, hey, so instead of talking about this stuff, you just showed me the trailer for Incredibles 2, which I'll play right here.
Behold the Underminer!
Watch after Jack. I thought we were gonna go.
You heard your mother. Trampoline me. We meet again.
Superheroes are illegal.
We want to fight bad guys. It defines who I am.
We're not saying you have... What?
Someone on TV said it.
I was approached by this tycoon. Wants to talk about hero stuff.
Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need Elastigirl.
Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math. All over Dusseldorf. Doozles are dozing. Their eyelids so heavy, they're drooping. Close it!
I couldn't have done this if you hadn't taken over so well.
I've got to succeed so she can succeed. So we can succeed.
I get it, Bob. What the? That is freaky.
But I can't keep giving him cookies. How? He's freaky. Nobody and a daddy. What?
Done properly, parenting is a heroic act. Done properly.
And that was the trailer for Incredibles 2, which I just played right there. Not in real time. I'll play that later. But you told me about it at the beginning before we recorded, and I was like, yeah, I didn't really care for the first one. It was fine, but yeah, whatever. But this one actually looked really good.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I was concerned at first that they were going to portray Mr. Incredible as like, oh, he's a stay-at-home dad. Look how he's messing up all this. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're gonna do it a bit, but
I think towards the beginning of the movie it'll be like that. I think he's gonna be making some mistakes and everything. He's just gonna be very overwhelmed because I mean his kids are superheroes. But I think towards the end of it he'll have it down.
yeah. So it looks like they're gonna portray fatherhood in a good light. Because I am so tired of the buffoon dad.
Yeah, that's about enough of that.
I mean, he's never really been portrayed as a super smart guy or anything. Like in the first one, he was still kind of oafish, but I don't know. I think it'll be okay. Because it's still a comedy. Like bad things are gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Then like raising kids, there's always things that's like, oh, all right, up I get, go off to do this. But it looks like they're portraying the fatherhood aspect in a good light.
Yeah.
Which we don't often get in comedies. In comedies, the dad is often a blithering idiot who can't do anything right.
Yeah, true.
And I'm tired of that.
It got a little
As
bit
a
old.
father, that makes sense, yeah.
Well, just as a person, like, I respect my dad. Like, he's not great handyman-wise, but he did everything else right. Hard worker, respect. Like, I never got that as a comedy aspect. Like, oh, look at the father. He doesn't know anything. Like, no.
Actually, speaking of a father who doesn't know anything and isn't a very good person.
Why are you looking at me?
No, not you. No, I'm just saying. The other day, my brother Robin and I Skyped and recorded episode 36 of the Soul Forge podcast.
The Soul Forge.
Okay.
soulforgepodcast.com. And we talked about his dad and how much of a bad influence he was and all the traumatic childhood experiences we suffered because of it. I called the episode Drugs, Booze, and Strippers, Childhood Traumatic Experiences. If you want to hear something about bad dads, you can check that out. But however, Incredibles 2 is not a bad dad.
No. So, it doesn't look like they're going to be treating... So, I'll have to wait for the next trailer.
Right.
Yeah, we could be completely wrong. They could go 100%.
They could go full Tool time.
They could.
Or Everybody Loves Raymond. Those shows, they treated the father figures so poorly.
Yeah, but in their defenses, neither of those fathers were blithering idiots. They were just, they had their areas of strength and they had their areas of weaknesses.
And in their areas of strength, they always made critical mistakes because they don't have basic reasoning skills.
Who needs basic reasoning skills?
That's overrated.
Because remember, intelligence and skill are not necessarily rated. You can have somebody that's really dumb and really good at one thing.
True.
That's true.
So, like, just because, he's a good sports writer, I think that's what Ray Romano's job was.
I never watched that show.
Yeah, he was a sports columnist.
I watched Home Improvement.
So just because he can type things well and work out the formula for writing sports columns.
If I had to rank Tim the Toolman Taylor and Ray Romano, Tim wins every time.
Is that right?
I agree.
As a better dad?
Yeah. I think Tim wins every time. Because Tim...
At least interacted with his kids?
Yeah, he actively puts the time in. Like, he tries really hard.
Just does everything wrong.
Yeah, but he actively tries. And that's what's important. Whereas Ray just kind of did Ray. I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody loves him. That's the name of the show.
Yeah, but I don't know why everyone loved him. Because honestly, he wasn't that great a character.
I have no opinion. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
The other aspect of that is the wife is always right. You know what happens in my relationship? I'm right sometimes. Katie's right sometimes.
What?
Oh, that must be nice. I'm almost always wrong.
Me too.
Sarah's not allowed to listen to this. Delete that.
No, she doesn't listen to this. Cheryl won't listen to it either, so it's all good.
Great.
Sometimes Josh is right, but Shane and Sean are always wrong. Yeah. So that makes
I
sense.
don't know. She sporadically sometimes does listen.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if Cheryl listens or not, but I should probably get rid of this because I'm going to get in trouble. But I'm going to leave it in anyway because I like to live dangerously.
Great.
So
why would you get in trouble? All you said is that she may or may not listen. You didn't say anything incriminating.
No, of course not. I would never.
Like,
no, I would never say that.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So that's been our comedy shows from the 90s episode of the podcast. Have you guys been watching any of the DC superhero TV shows? I've totally given up on them this year.
I have not been able to get into them for a little while.
Yeah.
I have not watched any of them since like Flash season 2.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
This season, like, I watched a couple at the very beginning, but I have to rely on the internet fairies.
Mm-hmm. The storks.
So I'm not heavily into it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because like I enjoy them, but it's just more effort to get to them.
That's right. It is.
Because I'm not on cable anymore. So
we have satellite, but we don't have a PVR.
So that's
That kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Right. So yeah, I like my Netflix.
Honestly, I find, especially with the internet and everything like that, like cable and satellite is just why.
Yeah, I know.
You can watch pretty much anything you want whenever you want anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're just paying more for nothing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't have a cool transition, but speaking of DC superhero shows, last night we watched a Marvel superhero movie.
We did.
Wakandan Women and the Black Panther.
What's that word you use?
Spoilers.
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 Basically.
Yeah. I think Black Panther was more of a side character in his own movie. It was all about the women.
Really? That's what you got from it?
You know what? I'm not going to say he's wrong. Because it is a large... I would say the cast is like 80% female, 20% male.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Because you have the few big male characters, and everyone else in the movie was his mom, his sister, all the guard and everything like
His
that.
ex-girlfriend.
So you can't count the guard. Most of the guard are nameless and only say the chant like "Ho" and Wakanda forever.
Right.
And,
We had Okoye, who was Danae Guerrera from The Walking Dead's Michonne.
okay, so we got
She was the main character.
we got
She was good, I liked
the
her.
general.
Yeah.
We got the spy. We got the mother. We got the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 characters.
Yes.
We had Black Panther.
Yeah.
Ghetto Black Panther. Deny that he's that.
I liked his character. I thought he was good.
The Killmonger.
Yeah.
Killmonger. Yeah.
Killmonger was great.
We had the American white guy, or Whitey McWhite.
Oh,
Bilbo.
Bilbo Baggins. Or what's his name from Sherlock?
Watson?
Yeah, Watson.
How do you forget Watson's
I
name?
couldn't remember it. Yeah, I couldn't even remember it last night. I was
It's
like,
Sherlock and Watson.
yeah, I know. I was thinking elementary year data, but never mind.
Oh.
And we have the ape leader.
The gorilla, yeah.
The gorilla guy.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Oh, crap.
No.
I'm trying to remember his moniker.
So
anyway.
it's pretty much...
M'Baku, I think. M'Baku? Or was that Killmonger's real name?
No, that wasn't Killmonger's real name.
No.
I'm pretty sure that might have been.
M'Baku.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because I think he's like the silver gorilla or something like
Silver
that.
gorilla,
like in the
yeah.
comics.
Yeah. So it's 4 and 4.
Well, yeah, and then we had...
Yeah, but if you go by screen time.
Yes.
Screen time, you're not looking much better.
Okay, well, we don't have to...
We got Claw.
Okay, this is besides the point.
Who cares?
This is
It was
moving on.
It was a lot of female representation in the movies, what we're saying.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
No, it wasn't a bad thing at all.
That's right, it was good.
Then you brought it up saying it was making it sound like it was a bad thing.
No.
I was not saying it was a bad thing at all. I was just commenting that there was a lot of female representation finally.
For
and
a movie
I
called
approved.
Black Panther, it
Yes.
spent a lot of time not with
Black
the
Panther.
Black Panther, is all we're saying.
Yes.
When? There, you got... Look at it this way. The only real segment where Black Panther is missing is when... spoilers. Spoilers. He put the spoiler alert earlier before we started talking.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring this up, because I didn't know if we were...
We're going to spoil the heck out of it.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Now there's a spoiler for you.
Alright. So the only point where Black Panther is missing is after he's been thrown off the cliff. That's it. The only time we don't really... The story's not either directly or indirectly focused on him is after he's been thrown off the cliff.
You and your secrets.
And that segment is what? 15 minutes long?
Maybe.
I would say it's a little bit longer than that.
You know what was good about the thing, though? We went and saw it Friday night. I didn't fall asleep. We went to the Luxury Theater. Every Friday when we go to a movie, I'm always falling asleep because it's been a long week at work. I didn't. It was well-paced, action-packed. There was no draggy bits.
This is true.
It was a really well-paced movie.
It was a very solid Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I had some problems with it.
Well, sure. The CGI was spotty in parts.
Yeah. Particularly the arm part, we both agreed.
Yes. Andy Serkis's character was named Claw.
Claw.
Okay. And he's got an arm cannon. And...
That's okay. In the comics, it's an actual clawed thing.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not a claw. It's like a...
It's a pincer thing with a beam thing in the middle.
Okay, so anyway, he has a directed...
It's a claw.
He has a directed energy weapon.
Honestly, I prefer the hand from the movie.
And so it got taken off of him, and so he had his arm, his sleeve rolled up, and his arm was missing, of course, because it's cut off, or what, I don't know why it's gone, but anyway, you could tell where the cutoff was. It was so green screened, it was crazy.
Part of the problem is it was clean of a line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They tried to do it like, oh, here's the sleeve, so we got to cut it smooth with the sleeve. They cut it too clean.
Yeah.
Also, you could tell he was told, don't move it in front of your body.
Right.
Because they gave him a green sleeve.
Mm-hmm. It was too unnatural.
So, like, don't move it in front of your body so you can see where he's, like, locking his arm in place so it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked very unnatural. Because if you have... When you talk, you're going to...
Right, you're going to move your arms, and he didn't move his arm. So that took me out of the movie a little bit, because I was looking at the arm the whole time.
Yeah. My biggest thing with that scene is, so he's sitting there and he's cuffed to the chair, right?
Yeah.
His feet are not cuffed.
No.
He has one arm cuffed to a chair. I did not realize this. Andy Serkis is a rather large person.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if he just bulked up for this movie or what, but he's a big guy. You're telling me...
He didn't stand up and swing the chair like a club?
Yeah, no, he's stuck in the room with Martin Freeman, who is not a very large person.
He's a very little man.
He is. Mm. He's a small person. You could almost say he's a hobbit. And, like...
Good one.
But, like, no, that doesn't make any sense. He just sat there, with one arm
Yeah.
stuck to this chair.
But he knew he was going to get rescued, so he wasn't concerned.
That's true.
So.
But he also gave up a lot of information.
Well.
I mean, I guess he was just trying to expose Wakanda.
I think so.
But it just seemed odd to me.
Yeah, so the whole movie on its go was a good middle of the road.
I liked the sister, Shuri.
Yeah.
She was good.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan.
No, I liked how she was very well rounded. She was smart. She got enough screen time.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, I'm the sister, blah, blah, blah. You know? It was like she actually was a person.
My thing, though, is Black Panther is basically Batman. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No?
No.
Think about it.
Tell me.
Really, really rich.
No.
King of the country. How about that?
King of the country. Being rich and being king are two different things.
No, his net worth is more than Bruce Wayne's. They've calculated it. It's the thing.
Yeah, he's a king of a country. His net worth is actually less than Bruce Wayne's because most of his money is not his money.
Can you let Shane tell his story?
Stop it. Okay. So, someone with access to a lot of money.
Sure.
Okay. He has a bat cave.
He's got a cave, yeah.
His suit is all gadgets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
His sister's basically his Alfred at this point.
She's more like Iron Man. She's like a Tony Stark.
She is, but this is my issue. T'Challa is a genius.
Is
like,
he?
same as Batman.
Is he supposed to be smart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Batman and him are very comparable in their smarts. Like, give them prep time, they can do anything.
Okay.
And they've basically taken that whole aspect of his character and given it to his sister.
Ah.
So they've downgraded T'Challa in order to boost her character. That bugs me a little bit.
Not necessarily. So T'Challa is more of a tactical smart, situational understanding type smart.
He's a scientist.
Yes, and you know what a good scientist does when he has a better scientist nearby?
Collaborate?
Defer to the better scientist for most things and help where you can.
See, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know anything about these characters.
He's not spending his time researching building stuff. He's spending his time being the Black Panther, defending Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's why she's doing all the sciencey helpy bit, because he doesn't have time to be out in there going, I need to improve my claws on my suit. How can I do that? No, he's going, I gotta go fight this guy because he's a problem.
She was more like Q from the James Bond films.
She gave off a very good Q vibe.
She's very Q-ish. She's got a much better attitude than a lot of the sciencey, helpy, behind-the-scenes people.
I did like the youthful kind of
exuberance,
just excited nature.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And like the siblingness worked quite well.
It was like you believed that they were siblings.
They had the banter, the play of siblings.
Yeah. She almost gave like a like when John Cleese was Q. He was just very John Cleese.
I gave up on Bond in the 90s.
Oh, that hurts.
I don't find them entertaining.
Oh, they're so good. I like James Bond.
You can like James Bond, but I can't. I'm done with them.
I really haven't watched any of the Daniel Craig movies, as a matter of fact.
I
think I saw one, the first one.
The first one's really good. The second one is okay.
Mm-hmm. There's 4 or there's 3?
There's 4? There's 4.
Okay.
The second one was okay. The third one was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the better James Bond movies in a long time. And then the fourth one was alright. Had Dave Bautista in it.
Oh.
So Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right on.
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but it worries me a bit.
What's that?
Well, because they're talking about people dying in Infinity War, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Batista has been in talks with the WWE coming back full time to do WWE.
Oh, so he can't be an actor because he's going to be busy.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
So what does that say about his character in Infinity War? But it makes sense because if they're done with Thanos after, Drax's whole thing is
strength.
No, Thanos killed his family.
Oh, right.
And he wants revenge. That's his entire character. He just wants revenge on Thanos.
So what you're saying is, spoiler alert, possibly Drax takes out Thanos, and that's
or Thanos takes out Drax.
You can't kill Thanos. Unlike any of the other Marvel villains that we've really had, you can't kill off Thanos.
Not really. The
Mad Titan cannot be killed.
There's no conceivable way that the Avengers as they exist can beat him. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's coming out May.
Yeah.
So we don't have long to wait.
No.
And then we'll know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Overall, what do we think of Black Panther? Are we glad we saw it in the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up going to see it again. Sarah didn't get to go with us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was fine. It was above average for Marvel movies. I give it about an 8 out of 10 ribbons.
Okay, I was going to give it a 7, so that's about comparable, because you're always high.
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Now, so the average is 7.5.
7.5.
Part of the problem is it's in a set that has some real outstanding movies.
Yes.
So, because the Marvel universe is so good, you got to be really good to stand out in it.
It was.
This is true.
It was,
the best movie in the whole series is still the first Avengers movie.
Personally, for me, I still prefer Iron Man, the original. That's my favorite.
Like, if I'm going to slap on a movie to go back to, Guardians is the one I jump to.
Guardians is good, but just the feeling of the first time that they all came together.
See, and here
was so good.
I'm not saying that's bad. I really enjoy Avengers. It's one of the top ones as well. But if I'm going back to a movie, if I'm going to grab a Marvel movie and slap it in, if it's not the newest one, it's the Avengers. It's not the Avengers, the Guardians.
Yeah,
if Avengers is to me the best movie in the series, but if I'm going to throw a movie in, it's going to be Homecoming. But that's just because I'm biased and Spider-Man is the greatest hero
you're going
to me.
for a Spider-Man movie, not a Marvel movie.
Same thing.
No, they're not.
It's connected.
It's connected. It's not the same thing.
Did you know when Marvel sold Sony the rights to Spider-Man, they offered to sell them the movie rights to all of their characters for $25 million?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Sony could have everyone, and they turned it down because they thought it was too much money at the time and no one would want it.
Well,
they have got to be kicking themselves so hard right now.
They couldn't have done as good as Marvel.
Oh, no, definitely not.
But the funny thing about that is that I read an article today, and I think you read the same article, that said when Marvel was trying to come up with the first movie for their cinematic universe, they had a bunch of kids in a focus group, and they put a bunch of action figures out, and the kids wanted to play with the Iron Man action figure the most, so that's the movie they made first.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. It's all about the toys.
Yeah.
It really is. So much money in toys.
So long as you write a compelling story, you can make it all about the marketing. That's fine.
Well, sure. And they're going to reboot the Transformers universe after the Bumblebee movie. And that's going to be the...
Oh, complete?
Yeah, it's going to be totally wiped clean.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something that they should be doing so soon. If you're going to do a reboot, let the bad taste leave your mouth first before putting more in.
With most things, I would agree, but with Transformers, I'm not so sure, because the movies still make a lot of money. So there's obviously a demand for that kind of thing out there. I don't know. A trailer for Pacific Rim 2 just came out.
A trailer for Pacific Rim 2 just came out? Yeah, well, that's coming out soon, isn't it?
In May.
In May? Do we need to talk about it? Do we need to play it? Let's pause the recording here and let's watch it.
That's why I paused for...
I think we pissed him off.
Good. I'm not a hero like my father was. He started out just like you. This is our time, and we are Earth's last defense. Now help me save the world.
Let's go already.
3, 2, 1.
These things ain't that tough. There's something you need to see. Well, he's pretty big. Plan B. Always a plan B. We've got this! That's what I'm talking about!
Let's see it absorb this.
I think I could get used to this.
Okay, so in late breaking news, we have decided to talk about the Pacific Rim trailer at the end of the podcast because that looks friggin' amazing. It's very Power Rangers-ish.
Oh, super Power Rangers-y.
But it actually looks good.
You thinking Power Rangers? I'm thinking more anime.
Just because they're fighting in the middle of the cities and like the cardboard buildings from the Power Rangers cartoon show from the... Not cartoon, but the show from the 90s there. It's very, we're fighting in the middle of buildings. Let's jump off these buildings and attack the bad guy here.
Honestly, it looks like they just took all of the giant monster fights from like Power Rangers and anime and stuff, and they were like, wait, why do we need the rest of this? Just make a movie that's that.
We don't need a story. We just need giant fighting robots and monsters.
Just give us a bunch of colorful, individualized robots fighting giant monsters with zero regard for public safety or anything like that.
That's what I'm talking about!
I like the
and
way
just let them go at it.
The robots were running through this town, jumping off the buildings to get better leverage. The robot had the swords and was just swiping them through the buildings on the way to attack the monster.
Did not care at all.
This is millions of dollars in damage. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Monsters loose in the city. It's going to do more damage.
Well,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta move quick, man.
It's gonna be really awkward though when like auditors and stuff come to look at all the damage and go, all of this was caused by the robots.
Exactly. But March 23rd.
Yep.
I didn't see the first one in theaters. This one I will see in the theater. It looks amazing.
It does.
I can't wait.
I am so excited.
I don't even care if there's a story.
Oh, I don't even know. And it looked like people in the Jaegers were fighting each other at some points. So that looked odd.
I don't know. It was a lot of frenetic action. I couldn't tell.
It was just nonstop.
Are you going to go see it in the theater? I know
Probably
Shane and I.
not.
No, Shane and I
I'm
going to go see it in the
going.
theater. Yeah.
The action sequences in the first one were good. I enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they took it up a notch though.
There was some physics issues that I had some problems with.
Well,
yeah, jumping off buildings I shouldn't have worked. It should have just gone through the building.
A few helicopters lifting a building-sized robot made of solid metal.
Very strong helicopters.
No, we know the lifting capacity of those helicopters. A slight breeze should knock over the Jaeger. So overall, the story really hurt that movie for me. Less story would have been better for that movie.
Well, maybe the music's exciting and that pumps us up too.
Yeah, well, it looks like John Boyega's character is the son of
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba's character in the first one. They brought back the two scientist guys who were probably like part of why the first one was good because they were funny. And
That's what I'm talking about. That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That's what I'm talking about!
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Are we going to go see Annihilation next week? I'm undecided.
I'm 50-50.
Same here. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's not one that I'm like desperate to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So should we do a coin toss and just see if we're
Tuesday?
going?
Yeah, so we can't do a review for next weekend's podcast. But the weekend after that, if we go see it on the Tuesday that's coming, because it comes out on the 23rd, so yeah. Maybe we'll see it on Cheap Tuesday. That remains to be seen. All right, so that has been another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast with Sean and Josh and Shane.
That it has been.
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Not yet, because we're wrapping it up.
So we're still in.
We are still. You know what?
This will have had been.
Yes, but actually, our listeners right now are listening to this episode, and they're saying, "Wow, that was a really good episode, guys." I'm going to go leave a review in the iTunes store, a 5-star review, because more people need to know about this podcast, and we thank them for that.
We do.
It's very exciting. So that's all I've got to say. Do you guys have any parting words?
Parting, opening, moving. Yeah, those are parting words.
All right, very good. All right, so everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining the Facebook group, the Rusted Robot Podcast, and telling all your friends about this wonderful show. And remember, if you can't take the heat, don't tickle the dragon. This has been another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. You can contact us by emailing therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweeting us at therustedrobot. Visit our website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. And, if you would, please check us out and like us on Facebook. A 5-star review in iTunes is appreciated. The Rusted Robot Podcast was written, produced, scored, edited, engineered, and directed by Sean Vanderloo. Your co-host was Josh Montney. Don't forget to visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall and listen to our other show, the Soulforge Podcast. Visit Sean on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? To hug the mountain. To envelop that mountain with hug the mountain. To envelop that mountain with hug the mountain. That mountain. He wants to make love to the mountain. Tough young guys, sinewy bodies, and their fingers and bikini toes challenge the rock, challenging death. Why do I climb the mountain? Because I'm in love. There is a passionate affair going on between Kirk and the mountain. Kirk is on the mountain. Now, in order to create that illusion, sucking some of the most sensational men who not only climb, are voracious, fleeting, and elusive, and peripheral, and that's putting me on the mountain. Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Hold it, please. To hug the mountain. Envelop that mountain with hug the mountain. To envelop that mountain with hug the mountain. That mountain. He wants to make love to the mountain. And the climb is going where no man has gone before. Where no man has gone before. Challenge the rock, challenging death. Why do I climb the mountain? Because I'm in love.
This has been a Valley of Vanderloo podcast production, all rights reserved.
This transmission ends now.
That's what I'm talking about!